You thought you was gonna get away with this shit? No, no, no. I'm beating her ass. Beating her natural ass. I blink, I'm in handcuffs. Hey, it's your boy AJ back with another freaking video. And today I'm here with a story time. You read that title right, child. It's about to get real raunchy. It's about to get real ghetto. Like, girls, we finna talk about some things, honey. Now, I did tell this story when it first happened, but like, emotions were high. I didn't say everything. I didn't remember everything. So I took like an hour today of just looking through receipts, reading emails, calling people, and just trying to refresh my mind about what happened with the situation, because this happened December 2019. So it's been a little while, child, and we coming up on the 3-year anniversary of this raunchiness. So I want to sit in front of this camera and tell y'all this story time about how I got kicked out on my 12th grade year. Yeah, my last year of having to be in school, I got kicked out, and I'm just appalled. Like, how do you fuck up that much? Like, how do you fuck up that big? Like, you fuck up on your last year, girl. Like, your last year you fuck up bad. That was me. I'm sorry. Me. I'm gonna take full accountable of all the right things I did in this video and all the wrong things I did in this video, or, you know, in this story. Look here, but moral story is she had me messed up and she got what she got. So if you don't like raunchiness, don't like get on this, girl, go ahead and leave the premiere now. Go ahead and leave the video now. Make sure you put a thumbs up on your way out. But it's about to get nasty. So roll the intro. We're gonna get directly on into the story, honey. So, you guys, I want to tell y'all a quick backstory. Before we get into the actual story, let's give y'all a backstory. I was in an anger management classroom. The class was called STEP. It was called Short-Term Educational Placement. Okay, educational placement, girl, educational placement. Now, I got put into STEP in my first grade of high school, like 9th grade of high school. Like, it was like my first year of high school. I got put in this anger management classroom. It's a long story about how I got into it and why I got into the anger management classroom. But that ain't the story we're here to tell today. But more of the story is I was in this anger management classroom called STEP. So, you guys, how STEP will work is we would have to be in the anger management classroom 7 hours a day. So for the first week of school, say, you know, when school starts in August, for the first week or two, we would have to sit in the anger management classroom 7 hours a day, and we would get our work from each class period, and they would bring it into the anger management classroom. Now, if we do good and we, you know, upholding ourselves and we following the rules and things is getting done on time inside of the anger management classroom, they would step us out. So, you know, they start us off with going, they would tell me like, Jalen, okay, you did good last week. We're going to have you go to first, second, and third period. And I go to first, second, and third period. And say if I do good at first, second, and third period, they say, okay, well, you can go to first, second, third, fourth, and fifth. And then if I do good in those, they say you go to first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and seventh. Then you'll be completely stepped out. You wouldn't have to return to the anger management classroom unless you do something, and you'll be stepped out. Hence the name STEP. So any child inside of the STEP classroom had an IEP. Now, I don't know if I'm getting too deep now, child. I hope I ain't getting too deep, y'all. I got some grown subscribers now, so y'all should understand. But with the IEP, they're like, what's all these acronyms, alphabet boys? With the IEP, honey, it's called an individual education plan. Individual education plan. Anyways, if you were in an anger management classroom, you had to be given an IEP. So I had an IEP. I had an individual education plan. It's basically a set of things to be done if I was to lash out. Basically, a set of things to be done if I was to lash out. And any child with an IEP, like any child with an IEP, I don't know if this works for any state, but I know here in Tennessee, if you have an IEP, you cannot be suspended more than 10 days a year. So if I do something in August and they suspend me 5 days, and I do something in September and they suspend me another 5 days, and I burn the school down in October, they can't really suspend me unless they go and fight it at the Board of Education. So I knew this, girl, because I had an IEP for a long old time, and I had wrote that motherfucker out. I known what I could do and what I can't do, and I was using it to my advantage. I do admit, I'm not gonna lie here, I'm not one of the YouTubers that's gonna get in front of the camera and say, whoa, it's always me. Sometimes it's me fucking up and doing shit wrong, okay? So I have this IEP, which is an individual education plan. Individual education plan, I think that's what it's called. I'm pretty sure that's what it's called. So I have this thing on my record, and I'm fully aware of what they can and cannot do to me, and I'm totally pushing the limits and the boundaries of every teacher that I step in front of, okay? So ninth grade, I was in Spanish, you guys, and I had a teacher that me and her was not too fond of each other. She was a Latino teacher, and she was, quite frankly, she was a rude bitch. I don't know if she's still a rude bitch. I don't talk to her now. I don't have her Facebook or anything, but right then and there, she was a rude bitch. But also, on the other hand, she was kind of nice. That's a whole other story. If y'all want that story time, y'all can get it. But me and her had this big old run-in, and I ended up kind of being like banned from the foreign language hall. So when that happened with the Spanish teacher, I think she was like my 4th period. So during 4th period, that 9th grade year, I would end up having to be in my anger management classroom. So I would go back to anger management classroom during 4th period. I would do my Spanish work, and they would take it over to her. That happened 9th grade year. If y'all want a full story time about what happened in 9th grade year, I'll do that. But I just want to get y'all like a little brief synopsis of the fuck ups that I was having with these Spanish teachers. So yeah. So after that 9th grade issue I had with the Spanish teacher, child, I did not end up being put in Spanish again. I don't think they put me in that Spanish for 10th grade or 11th grade. I was like, what happened to foreign languages? I thought you had to do 2 years of foreign language. They did not want to put me back in foreign language, child. They did not. So skip past 10th grade, skip past 11th grade. It's 12th grade year. This is my last year being in school. So in order to graduate, you know, and be a successful 12th grader, you have to have 2 credits. You have to have 2 credits of foreign language. So I took my first credit 9th grade year, and I would have to take it again 12th grade year. So I would have to take Spanish too. Now, about the time I got back on the foreign language hallway, it had been a whole group of new different teachers. I didn't know nobody down there. Like I think every teacher had left. I don't think it was no original Spanish teacher. I think it was a whole brand new group of Spanish teachers. So basically my rep was clear, girl. Like my rep was clear. I had came back on a clean slate, and the shit was supposed to be cool. Supposed to be. So it's 12th grade year. It's time for me to take Spanish 2 and get my last credit. I supposed to have been easy breezy beautiful cover girl. It's supposed to have been real easy and breezy in that bitch. I'm invested in my body, bitch. I'm done. I'm gonna be completely honest. The 12th grade Spanish teacher I had, me and her had a lot of run-ins, a lot of bump-ins. Like we had hit noggins so many times. It's because it was her first year teaching there. She did not know how to properly, you know, run a classroom at Southwind, because y'all were calling out the school. Southwind High School was a raunchy school. If you're not from Memphis, Tennessee, go look up Southwind High School and come back. And she did not know how to run her classroom. She did not know how to run her classroom. And I'm not one to tell a motherfucker how to run their classroom, but she's one of the teachers where it'd be a chaotic mess, and I would be so annoyed, and I would be like just frustrated. So me and her had like a lot of run-ins, and it ended up being where they would like, okay, Jalen, I guess like foreign language is not for you, so we're gonna have you come back into the anger management classroom again this year for your foreign language. So that's what they end up having me do. They end up, you know, having me either go get the work from her or one of my anger management classroom teachers, or aka STEP. Either one of them teachers would go down there and get the work from her, and I would have to do it. And that's how like the year would run and operate, because me and her kept bumping heads. I think we were arguing like every other day. I remember where it got bad one time where I was like going off, she going off, the English teacher running to the room. I'm like, girl, you don't even teach Spanish. What the fuck are you doing here?
Ariana, what are you doing here?
The English teacher is running into the room to save this bitch. I'm telling her, you always want to play save a hoe. You always want. I remember screaming at the teacher, like, I remember screaming at the English teacher, like, you always playing save a hoe. Let me get in this bitch shit. Let me get in this bitch shit. Like, I wanted to drag the Spanish teacher because she was so annoying. She was so annoying. Like, she was so annoying. Like, I did not like her. I did not like her. So, yeah, that ended up happening. They ended up pulling me out of her class again, 12th grade year, and putting me in the anger management classroom for that time period, you know, during 4th period. I would just go back to anger management classroom, do my Spanish work, then, you know, proceed on with my day after that. So the 12th grade Spanish teacher, me and her relationship doesn't work out. Like I said, I have to be in the anger management classroom and I would do work. So one time the anger management teachers came and brought me some of the Spanish work. It was like a couple assessments, a couple things to do. I done them, you know, cleared them out, did them, gave them back to my anger management teacher, said, you go take the shit to the hoe. And she went and took the shit to the hoe. Now, I did this work, and I know I did it well. Well, at least to my best knowledge. But when they took the work back to the Spanish teacher, she put in a 20. She put in a 20 and I gagged. I'm gonna be completely honest. I said, oh, God damn, I didn't know shit. I thought I had knew some shit, girl. I didn't know shit. And when I seen the 20, I said, oh my God.
Miss Jackson.
I was like gagging. I was like gagging. Now, at this point, me and the Spanish teacher, our argument had been like a couple months. It had been a couple months since we had argued. And I had spoke to the Spanish teacher a couple times in the hallway. Even though I wasn't coming to her class, you know, I was speaking to her like, hey, you know, just wave. We didn't have no ongoing beef. Like, me and her argued. That shit was deaded. They told me not to go back to her classroom, and you know, we'll just work abroad. We'll work abroad. But when I see her in the hallway, because I had to pass her class a ton of times because she was on one of the busiest hallways that I had to walk through, so I wave at her, you know, not too much. But when I seen the 20, I gagged. So I was like, wait a minute, bitch. So I walk on down to her classroom. I walk on down to her classroom like, girl, what's going on? Like, girl, I got a 20, honey. Like, I'm whispering to her at this point, like, bitch, can I retake that, girl? Can I redo that, bitch? She was like, oh, you got a 20. Like, I didn't even mean to put that in. She's like, literally, like, sympathetic with me. Like, she's apologizing to me. She's like, oh, I didn't mean to put that in. I didn't mean to do that. Give me 1 second. I'll be able to change that right out. Like, I did not mean to do that. I did not mean to do that. I'm like, oh, girl, it's fine. It's fine, sweetheart. It's sweet, sweetheart. Long as you get to it. Long as you get to it. Girl, long as you get to it. Like the water in the tooth. Long as you get to it. So she's like apologizing profusely because I just knew that I had failed. I thought it was my fuck up, but it was actually her fuck up. She's apologizing. She's telling me like she's had so much shit going on. There's so many students. They're putting additionals. Like, she's literally just opening up to me. I'm like, well, bitch, I haven't spoke to you in months. All I've done is wave my hand when I walk past your classroom. But this bitch is opening up. She's telling me this, telling me that. I'm like, okay, girl, long as you fix mine. As long as you fix motherfucking mine. So I leave her classroom. I go back to my anger management classroom, or either I go to the next class. I don't know if I went back to anger management class or went to whatever my class was next. I don't remember. So the day ends. I get on my bus. I go home. I go home, girl. I get home. So hear my mom nag. My mom is like nagging. She's like, I just looked at Power School, which is Power School is how I was able to see my grade. We had something called Power School. I don't know if y'all had Power School, but she was like, I just looked at Power School. Why the fuck is it a 20 in? Like, my mama is going off. Let me throw this in. My mama is a college professor. So you can only imagine what I was hearing. You can only imagine what I was hearing. You can only imagine what I was hearing from a college professor, aka my mom, and I had a 20 in the grade book. Like, it was like, girl, it was like if Osama bin Laden shot through her window. Like, it was really traumatic for her, and she couldn't move past it. And I was trying to explain to her, like, mama, I went and talked to the Spanish teacher today, and she told me that she accidentally, you know, put that in. She was gonna change it, X, Y, and Z. Of course, like parents do, they don't believe you. They swear everything, you know, is, you know, just lies. Like, did you raise a liar? But they just swear everything is a lie. I'm like, it's trying to explain to her, like, look here, for real, mama. like real, this is real talk. I'm like, I'm about as hot as you, mom. I'm about hot as you, girl. I'm hot too. I'm mad too about it. And it's not even my fault. I didn't even make the 20. She said she put that in on accident. So I'm trying to explain to my mama, like, she put it in an accident. My mom like, yeah, right. She put a 20 in there for accident. You get down there, you need to retake that shit. Like, she's going off, like going off. Also, I had a concert to go to, like, the next weekend. It was an Ariana Grande concert. My mama didn't buy the tickets. I bought the tickets. The tickets was like $300, $400. And my mama was telling me that I wasn't going to the concert. Now, y'all are probably thinking, like, how the fuck is she gonna tell you that you ain't going to a concert for the tickets you bought? Well, she was actually going, you know, she was the driver. She was the ride. So if she wasn't go, you know, take me down to the stadium to go see Ariana Grande, my mama had basically canceled the event for real though. So I was literally like pleading with mom, like, please mama, like, let's give me a couple more days. Like, give me a couple more days. I promise you this is not me this time. She fucked up. Like, I promise you, mama, promise you. Like, I'm down on my knees pleading, begging. I'm like pleading, begging with mama, like, please mama, please mama, please mama, please. So she's angry. She's telling me like the next day she need to get this shit situation to cut. Like, I think this was like a Monday or Tuesday. Like a Monday or Tuesday or something, and my mom was like, you know, your concert's for Saturday. You need to get this figured out before Saturday. If you have a retake, do something. I'm like, mom, I promise. She said she just typed the wrong thing. So the next day, I go to school and I talk to the Spanish teacher again on my way, you know, to first period. I'm like, hey girl, look here. I had a very unfriendly conversation with my mom last night. I need you to fix that grade. It was not too sweet. It was not too sweet. I'm like, my mom is threatening me about concert tickets that I paid for. Like, it's like a lot going on, and I need you to fix that grade. I'm having this conversation with my Spanish teacher at this point, and she's like, oh yeah, I got caught up, I got busy yesterday, I wasn't able to change it, but I got you today, I got you today. I said, okay, we got each other. I got your back. So I head on up the hallway and I'm minding my business. So the grade does not get changed. The grade does not move. The grade is still sitting there at this same bullshit for it's sitting there for hours. I don't say anything else to her for the rest of the day. The Spanish teacher, I don't stop by her classroom. I said, I'm gonna give you till tomorrow. Tomorrow comes, nothing happens. Nothing happened, no grade is changed. I don't see anything been took out. The grade is just what it is. It's just what the fuck it is. So I sent her an email. I go and email the Spanish teacher. And I can't remember what I said verbatim, but I'm gonna put it up on the screen. But I was literally telling her, like, look here, I need you to take that absent out that you fucked up, and I also need you to change that grade that you fucked up, because my mama is threatening me about these Ariana Grande tickets. Literally, I told her, like, you need to do something. You need to get that check, you need to get that change, you need to get it fixed, you need to do something. She paying me dust. She paying me dust like she don't see my emails. I know that she ain't that busy. She ain't nobody's Beyonce, Mariah Carey. She's nobody busy. Like, I know you see my fucking email, bitch. Like, you are literally paid to read emails. Like, bitch, I know you see my fucking email. So, she paying me dust. Girl. So, the moral of the story is seconds went by, minutes went by, hours went by, and the end of the day was approaching. So, like I said, this was like the end of the week. I think this is like now a Thursday or a Friday. I can't remember. But this is the end of the week. Like, grades are due, and I hear the principal come over the announcement. Now, the principal come over the announcement and say, hey, teachers, all grades are finalized at 3 o'clock. And I look at the clock, and the clock look at me, and both me and the clock looking at each other. And the clock has said, damn, this grade ain't changing before 3. And I just get heated. I gotta cool it down. I just get heated. I begin to tick-tock like a ticking time bomb. Like, I was so fucking frustrated. Once I started to look at that time, and then the announcement that was made over the announcements talking about grades are finalized at 3 o'clock, I'm looking at the time, and the time is telling me almost 3. Almost 3, and the grade has yet to be changed. And plus, I'm a 12th grader. This is fucking with my GPA. Not just fucking with, this is just fucking with a lot of shit for a teacher's fuck up. I can see if I make the 20. If I genuinely deserve the 20, I actually fucked up whatever I did. Okay, I would not be doing all this, stopping by your classroom, sending emails, but you literally said out of your own mouth, that was my fuck up, my mess up, that was my wrong. I'm gonna go and fix it for you. And for you to literally just sit there and take your precious time, definitely when I'm a senior, I'm a 12th grader, like this is like the last year. Like, I can't fail shit. I can't fuck up shit. This is the 12th grade year. So I get up after I hear that announcement made by the principal. I walk down to the Spanish teacher's classroom, and I'm knocking on her door. I'm like, at this point, she's mid class. I think she has a class. This was not her learning period. She had a whole full class. I'm knocking on her door, and she knows what the fuck is tea. So she pops out of the door, and she's asking me, like, hey, what's going on? I'm like, don't hey, what's going on me? Bitch, you know what the fuck I'm here for. Like, bitch, you know why the fuck I'm here. Like, don't hey, what's going on me. Like, don't do that shit. Do not do that shit. So I'm trying to explain to her about my grade. I'm trying to explain to her about the grade, and she's talking about, oh, I have class right now, I have class right now, I have class right now. I'm like, girl, no. Your class can wait 30 seconds for you to go change that 20. That can't. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck if you was teaching Michelle Obama, Barack Obama, and Bobo. Like, Sasha. None of that. I don't give a fuck who you're teaching. You need to teach yourself how not to click the wrong shit in power school. You need to go fix my grade, ma'am. So she's literally over talking me while I'm trying to talk to her, and she's trying to close the door. So I literally slide my foot in the door. I wish I had visual representation, because it's about to get a little sticky with this, breakdown. So I slide my foot in the door so she can't close that motherfucker. So at this point, my foot's in the door, and this bitch is opening and closing the door on my legs. Yeah, I got big feet. I wear size 13 and a half, really 14, don't tell nobody. I got big feet. I got big feet. And it really didn't hurt that much, but it was the simple fact of this bitch opening and closing the door on my motherfucking shoes, motherfucking foot, motherfucking, I was speechless. I didn't have much to say. I was appalled. So this bitch is opening and closing my foot on the door, and she ends up like sticking her body between the door to kind of address me. Now, I wish I could explain what the fuck is going on. Let me get this cup. So this bitch, this is the door. This is the door. This bitch kind of sticks her body between the door, and she's kind of talking to me, and of course I gotta get my revenge. This bitch has her body through the door, and I begins to slam it on her body. I'm slamming this motherfucking door on her body like six or seven times. I'm opening and closing that damn door on her body. Just bodily damage every fucking where. I'm fucking her up with this door because, bitch, first of all, you fucked up my grade, and second of all, you fucked up my new shoes and fucked up my foot. You thought you was gonna get away with that shit? No. I'm beating her ass with this fucking door. I'm beating her natural ass with this fucking door. I blink, I'm in handcuffs. I blink, I'm in handcuffs, swear. I'm in fucking handcuffs. And the motherfucking officer is pulling me down to his office, which is one of my favorite officers. I don't know if he still works there. If anybody goes to Southwind, does Officer Sneed still work there? I hate to call names, but does he still work there? If anybody gets this story that works in Southwind, does he still work there? Because I need to make a stop. He's literally dragging me in handcuffs to his office and doing the whole thing like I'm seeing red, black, purple, a whole bunch of colors. I'm not seeing reality. And I'm just like, I'm just, I don't know. I was in I don't know. It just feel like something took over my body. So when I get in the office, I kind of come back to reality. And he's like, do you know what the fuck you just did? Do you know what the fuck you just did? And I'm like, yeah, I fucked her up. I'm like, yeah, I fucked her up. Yeah, what the fuck do you mean, bitch? I fucked her up. And he was like, look at this, look at this, look at this. And he literally flips the camera, not flips the camera, he literally flips his laptop around and he plays me the hallway security footage of me fucking her up with this door. Woo! The money I would pay to get that video today. Baby, I am fucking her up with that door. I am fucking her up with that door. So while the officer is playing me the video of what I did to the Spanish teacher, a principal walks in. Actually, an assistant principal walks in. She walks in with this whole demeanor of, yeah, I got you, bitch. Because like I told y'all in the beginning of this story, you know, when you had an IEP and when you was in an anger management classroom, they could only suspend you up to 10 days a year because literally you're in an anger management classroom. What do they look like keep suspending you and you're literally in something, like it's documented, this is what you have. So literally, she came in with this look like, oh, I got you, bitch. You finna get more than 10 days today, bitch. She came in with this look like, oh, I got you, motherfucker. And I was looking at her like, the fuck? What the fuck do you have, bitch? Because you don't want it. You don't want it, mother. You don't want it, sister. You don't want it, Miss Girl. You don't want it, honey. I'm looking at her like, bitch, you bet not. Do you see what I just did to the Spanish teacher? You're next on the docket. You're next on the docket. Don't try it. Don't fucking try it. Don't try it, bitch. I'm literally looking at her like, don't try it, bitch. Because me and her are communicating through face expressions. Woo! Because me and her did not have a clean slate. Me and her was like, we did not like each other. We played like we like each other. Hey, Jalen, hey, miss. We played like we like each other, but deep down inside, we did not like each other, girl. I don't know why we played like we like each other, like we were somebody co-workers. Literally, I was a student, she was a principal. I guess she wasn't trying to get fucked up. So this principal is trying to address me and tell me what I did wrong and X, Y, and Z and go on and on. And I'm not really wanting to hear it. It's like, okay, girl, the bitch really wouldn't. I couldn't see past the Spanish teacher fucking up my grade. I'm like, well, if she would have took the 20 out, I would have had to beat her ass. And literally, the principal was telling me back, like, look here, if you would have came to a side and brought me to the side and told me that she had messed up your grade and she was taking extremely long to change it, I would have went down and said something to her. I was like, well, I wasn't thinking that. I want to fuck her up. I wasn't thinking that. I didn't give a fuck. I wasn't thinking that. To be told, like I should have done that. I'm gonna be honest, I should have done that. I should have went to the principal and told the principal, like, look, her this Spanish teacher, she might not like me and she might be fucking up my grade on purpose and not wanting to change it. Like, can you go figure that out? I should have. I'm gonna be honest, I'm gonna be the bigger person now 3 years later. I should have went to the principal or upper, you know, some type of principal and told them, like, hey, this Spanish teacher is fucking with my grade because I feel like she has some type of malicious towards me. But I didn't. I tried to handle it myself. So this is what handling myself, you know, this is what happened when I handled it myself. So the principal was telling me, like, hey, I would have handled the situation. You should have told me. I'm like, well, girl, I've already beat her ass. There's nothing we can do about it now. Just make sure she changed my fucking grade. So that happened. At this point, I'm out of the handcuffs and I storm out of the officer's office. And I go back to my anger management classroom, which was down the hall. Now, the principal lady, she's following me, chirping like a fucking bird, hollering like a hyena, motherfucking making noise like chihuahua. She's literally antagonizing me as I walk down the hallway trying to get back to my anger management classroom. It took everything in me, even a prayer, not to turn back around and beat that bitch ass, because I literally vividly remember trying to get to my anger management classroom and just praying, walking. I'm like, Jesus, please calm me down. Jesus, please calm me down. Like, I literally was praying because I was like, I cannot deal what I did to this Spanish teacher and then also turn back around and do something to this administrator because I'm just going to jail. I just knew it. I just felt like I was going to go to jail. So I literally remember praying like, Jesus, okay, I already messed off the Spanish teacher. Let me just not do nothing to this administrator because I might go to jail. I remember just praying because she was literally antagonizing me while I was trying to get to my peace, my safe haven, my anger management classroom. She was literally following me down the hallway, barking like a fucking chihuahua. Like, it was so annoying. I finally get to the anger management classroom. I slammed the door in her face. She doesn't come in. She doesn't do any of that. I think she was just trying to make sure I didn't spend the block on the Spanish teacher, child. I feel like she was trying to make sure I didn't spend the block on the Spanish teacher. But I wasn't studying that Spanish teacher. I got what I need to do, girl. Then I did that in front of your whole class. They was spooked, gagged, and nervous. Girl, so that happens. That situation happens. I'm back in the anger management classroom, and I'm explaining to my anger management teacher as if, you know, the video that what I've done, having circled the school already. I'm explaining to my anger management class teacher like, girl, yeah, I had to fuck up that Spanish teacher. I'm literally filling her in as if she ain't got like 3-4 emails about the situation already, probably with the email, with the video attached to it. Like, I knew she already knew, but I just wanted to come and tell her my side of the things and how I felt about the situation. And of course, my anger management teacher was telling me like, you should have told me. I would have went and got your grade fixed. Like, everybody's telling me like, oh, you should have told me. Or you should have told me. Fuck y'all, girl, shit. I want to handle this shit, and I thought I could, cause like I said, it had been some months since me and that Spanish teacher had words, and we were on high and by. Like, we were on speaking level. So I wasn't thinking that the Spanish teacher was gonna do all that shit she did. I was thinking like, hey, I thought the bitch was back cool with me. I'm like, okay, I cuss you back out in August. It's December. It's like we waving at each other, we speaking to each other now. I thought I could go and talk to her about my grade being fucked up, but everybody's telling me like, oh, you should have told me. I would have talked to her. I would have talked to her. Girl, fuck all that. So I'm sitting here telling my anger management teacher like everything that happened. I'm telling them like what happened, X, Y, and Z, and my iPod begins to ding. I had a phone at the time, but it's a whole other story for a whole other day. I just had my iPod on me at that moment. So my iPod is dinging, and I'm getting notification from Power School. Now I'm looking at the iPod. iPod tell me you have been suspended to January. Okay, all right, you know, I understand being suspended to January because literally we like a week before Christmas break. It's already December. Okay, I can sit home in January. The phone dings again. It tells me you have been suspended to February. It dings again. It dings again. It tells me you have been suspended to March. I said, wait a minute. I said, wait a minute, bitch. I said, wait. I was gagged. It tells me you have been suspended to April. I said, wait. I said, wait 1 motherfucking cotton picking minute right now, nigga. What is going on? It tells me, man. I said, oh Jesus. I said, prepare. I said, Jesus, because you might have to come back down here and save what I'm about to cause. So I said, you might have to come down here and save the commotion that I'm about to cause. Baby, I said, Jesus, I hope today was not your day off, because you about to go and do some overtime today. I said, baby, you was about to do time and a half today. Baby, I get up. I get up and I walk right out of the classroom. In the middle of the conversation I was having with my anger management classroom, I got up. And I walked out of the classroom, and I'm headed back to the officer's office because I know that's where the principal is. I know that's where she is. So I'm beating on the motherfucking officer door. I'm beating that door in, girl. If that door still has a hole in it to this day, probably because of me. I'm beating that motherfucking door in. I am beating that door in. He opens the door, and the first thing I see was a walkie-talkie. I grabbed the walkie-talkie, and I fucking launched that hoe at the assistant principal. It hit her a little bit. It didn't knock her the fuck out, but it hit her a little bit. And only thing I know is I'm in handcuffs again. This is a mess. Y'all probably thinking like, how didn't you go to jail? I don't know. I'm still trying to figure that out to this day. Like, to swear to God, like I'm still trying to figure that out to this day. Like, I don't know how I didn't go to jail. I do not know. I do not know. I do not know. Maybe because a lot of people fuck with me in that school. Even though I gave a lot of girls hell, a lot of people fuck with me heavily. But I don't know. So I throw this walkie-talkie at the assistant principal. It kind of hits her. I'm in handcuffs again, and at this point they put me in handcuffs and walk me back down to the anger management classroom. So I get drugged to my anger management classroom, and he tells my anger management teacher, do not let him fucking leave. Do not let this bastard leave out of the room until his bus is here, and he walks from his bus, gets on that bus, and never comes back to this school ever again. Do not let him leave this classroom. So I'm like, damn, bitch. I'm literally like, damn, I'm gagging. I'm like, damn, officer. I'm just gonna call him officer. I thought we were cool. I thought we were like this, girl. I thought we was, you know, best of friends, and you telling them don't let me out of here no more. Like, what if I want to do a little more damage to the school? So that situation happened. It was one hell of a mess after that. So like this story for part 2. I won't leave y'all on no cliffhanger. I mean this is a cliffhanger, y'all, because it got dirty. It really went down. It really went down after that, because I was angry as hell. So yeah, this is just the first part of the story about me getting kicked out of 12th grade. And if y'all enjoyed this story, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, and share, honey. I love y'all so much. Thank y'all for tuning into this video. It was one of the longer stories, not too long, but it was one of the longer stories. But yeah, I'll see y'all on a different video. Bye.